You woke up this morning knowing exactly what to do. You didn't do it. And this isn't the first time. You've tried every technique, visualized your future, affirmed your desires, scripted your reality. Some days you felt like the architect of the universe. Other days completely lost in static. That soul-deep exhaustion you feel right now? It's not failure, it's physics. You're using old tools in a new reality. You haven't failed the game. You've graduated to a level where the old rules simply don't apply anymore. The fatigue is friction. You're trying to push a door that's already swung wide open. Here's what's really happening. At the quantum level, there are no solid things, only a field of infinite potential, every possibility existing simultaneously. Your attention, your observation, is the force that collapses this wave of potential into the single particle of your experience. For years, you've been training your observation, holding focus on a desired potential long enough for it to crystallize. You worked to become a stable, coherent observer, and you succeeded. Your consciousness has reached a threshold, a point of coherence where observation is no longer a temporary action you perform, it's a permanent state you inhabit. Think of it this way. You've been handed a tuning fork. You were taught hundreds of ways to strike it. Affirmations, visualizations, scripting, all different methods of striking the fork to make reality resonate with your intention. But what if the quality of the instrument always mattered more than the force of the strike? What if you've spent years purifying the metal, refining the shape, calibrating the very structure of your consciousness to such perfection that it no longer needs to be struck at all? What if your presence alone is now enough to make the air vibrate? The old methods feel exhausting because your consciousness has become too powerful for them. When you first started, you were a small speaker. You had to shout, forceful affirmations, intense visualizations, hours of scripting. But your inner work was never about getting better at shouting. It was an upgrade of your internal hardware. You're no longer a small speaker. You're a stadium-level broadcast system, constantly emitting a coherent signal. So what happens when you try to shout affirmations into a system this powerful? You get feedback, distortion. The techniques that once helped are now the primary source of static in your reality. Your powerful state of being is in conflict with the lower frequency energy of trying. You're a master instrument still trying to play it like a novice. Think of the one goal you've been pushing hardest for. Can you feel the subtle, energetic resistance that pushing creates? That resistance is proof. It's the signature of an old paradigm colliding with a new level of consciousness. Your frustration isn't failure. It's the signal that you've graduated. The new paradigm isn't an action. It's a profound stillness, coherence, not effort, being, not doing. You're no longer the hand striking the tuning fork. You've become the fork itself. And your world has no choice but to vibrate with you. For your entire journey, you've operated under one assumption, an assumption so deep you never questioned it. To get a response from reality, you must first do something to it. This is the paradox that kept you locked in effort and exhaustion, because the truth is the polar opposite. At this level, your being is the doing. Your state of being is now the causal force. The act of existing in a particular state of coherence is the most powerful action possible. The years you spent trying weren't a waste. They were the forge that built the instrument capable of this new physics. You've graduated. You've become a causal force simply by existing. This changes everything. Your focus inverts 180 degrees. For years you've been looking outward, trying to arrange reality, trying to send signals and hoping for echoes. Now your focus turns inward. Your only work is calibration of your internal state. No more techniques to learn. No complex sequences to perform perfectly. That entire paradigm has dissolved. Your only work now is to be the frequency of the reality you wish to experience. You're no longer sending requests and waiting for delivery. You're becoming the signal itself. When you do this, you move beyond hope into certainty. You're not broadcasting a wish. You're broadcasting a fact of your own being. And the universe, which is a flawless mirror, can only reflect the fact of you. The reality you desire isn't something you need to build. It's a resonance you need to become. This precipitates a complete transformation of identity. The old labels no longer fit. You're not a manifester. A manifester tries to make things happen. You're someone who allows reality to happen through them. You're a reality anchor. You anchor a specific frequency into this dimension, and the quantum field crystallizes around that anchor point. You're not a creator in the old sense. A creator implies effort, building, assembling. You're a point of coherence, a silent, still point of such pure internal order that the chaos of infinite potential has no choice but to organize itself around you. You're a walking collapse of the wave function. Your presence, your serene, anchored presence, is the observation that turns the wave of all possibilities into the particle of your lived experience. So how do you know reality is responding under these new rules? It's simpler than you think. The observer's echo effect isn't a future goal, it's a physical reality, active in your life right now. You've just been taught to misinterpret the evidence, to label the miraculous as mundane coincidence. Here are 3 signs proving your reality has already shifted into automatic response. The first is the dissolving of problems. Think of something that's been a chronic struggle, a financial knot, a difficult relationship, a creative block tormenting you for years. You pushed against it, strategized around it, poured immense energy into solving it. It remained a dense knot of resistance. Then something shifted. Maybe you gave up, you became so exhausted you let it go. Not positive surrender, pure spiritual fatigue. You stopped observing it with force. You dropped the rope, and then it happened. Without any new action from you, the problem resolved itself. The difficult person had a change of heart. An unexpected check arrived for the exact amount needed. The perfect idea downloaded into your mind at 3 a.m. This isn't luck, it's physics. As long as you observed the problem with the energy of struggle, you held it in quantum tension. Your forceful observation collapsed the wave function into the very pattern of a problem to be solved. You were feeding what you wanted to eliminate. The moment your observation became neutral, you allowed the quantum field to collapse into the most elegant solution. You didn't solve the problem. You allowed it to be unsolved by ceasing to create it with your attention. The second sign is effortless synchronicity. This isn't basic synchronicity. This is when the entire matrix of your reality reconfigures itself around your state of being with speed and precision that defies probability. Thinking of a friend and getting their text 5 minutes later, needing specific information, and having a podcast autoplay with an expert discussing that exact topic. Deciding you need a new skill, and the next day a colleague forwards the perfect discounted course. You're not attracting these things. That's old language. The quantum field is an information field. It's self-organizing. When your state of being becomes a pure, coherent frequency, you become a powerful organizing principle within that field, a gravitational center for relevant data. Reality brings you the necessary components not because you're chasing them, but because their energetic signature is a harmonic match to what you're embodying. You're no longer running through the maze hoping to find the prize. You've become so still, so coherent, that the maze dissolves and reforms, creating a direct path between you and everything resonating with your being. The third sign is the human mirror. People in your life begin spontaneously reflecting your inner state back to you with startling accuracy. They become unwitting echoes of your internal broadcast. You spend your morning cultivating deep peace. You walk into your office, and a co-worker who normally complains says, "I don't know what it is, but I feel so calm around you today." You're privately holding the question, "Am I on the right path?" You overhear a stranger say to their friend, "You just have to trust you're exactly where you need to be." You feel profound gratitude for your partner, a feeling you haven't expressed. They turn to you and say, completely unprompted, "I feel so appreciated by you lately." They're not reading your mind, they're reading your field. Human consciousness is profoundly resonant. When you operate from powerful internal coherence, you become the dominant frequency in any room. People's energy fields unconsciously tune to yours. They pick up your broadcast and reflect it back in their language. This is ultimate proof of the observer's echo effect. The universe is using people around you to show you in real time the signal you're emitting. Your new work isn't to create, it's to notice. Your task is to become a master pattern recognizer. When a problem dissolves, when synchronicity delivers the perfect solution, when a person mirrors your deepest feeling, you must stop calling it coincidence. Pause, breathe, acknowledge the physics at play. Say it to yourself, The echo is active. Each time you do this, you anchor this new reality more firmly. You reinforce the feedback loop. Noticing the echo strengthens the signal, which creates more powerful echoes to be noticed. You move from someone who hopes this is true to someone who has living, breathing evidence all around you. Now let's feel this reality in every cell of your body. Find a quiet space. Turn off notifications. This moment is for you. A moment to graduate from knowing to being. Close your eyes if that feels right. Take a slow breath in. As you exhale, release the day. Release the mind. Release the need to figure anything out. Your only job right now is to be here. Let's begin by sensing the quantum field. But we're not looking for it out there. Bring awareness inward, deep inside your physical body. Sense the vibrant stillness within you. Feel the space between your thoughts. Feel the space between your heartbeats. Go deeper. Sense the space holding the very cells of your body together. Deeper still. Sense the vast silent space within each atom. That is the field. It's never been separate from you. It's the very fabric of your being, the silence from which all sound emerges. Rest here. Simply be aware of this inner vastness. This is the creative source, not outside you, inside you. Now, from this place of inner stillness, do something different. We're not going to visualize a goal. We're not going to create a mental movie. Those are old tools of effort. Instead, simply evoke a feeling, the pure feeling state of your desired reality, as if it were already true. Choose one. The frequency of absolute peace, boundless joy, unshakable certainty, effortless abundance. Don't search for images or scenarios. That's the mind trying to help. Gently let the images go. We're interested only in the raw frequency, the pure vibration of the state itself. Allow that feeling to arise. Maybe it starts as warmth in your chest, a lightness in your being, a quiet hum beneath the surface. Let it emerge gently. Don't force it. Simply invite it. As it arises, let it expand. Let this frequency fill the inner space you just discovered. Let it saturate every cell, every atom. Nothing to do here. Nowhere to go. Just this feeling, this resonance. Now, the most important step. As you sustain this feeling, notice the subtle urge of the mind. Notice the habit, the impulse to do something with this energy, the desire to aim it, direct it, push it toward a problem or goal. Do you feel that? That's the old paradigm. That's the manifestor trying to strike the tuning fork. Here, in this new reality, we simply let that urge go. Release the need to direct this feeling. Release the need to use it. Your only job is to be it, to become the source of the feeling itself. Sustain it without effort. Marinate in it. Let it be your entire reality in this moment. This is radical. This is the great letting go. You're no longer a creator sending out a signal. You are the signal itself. Now feel the final boundary dissolve. The distinction between you and the feeling. You're not feeling peace. You are peace. You're not feeling abundance. You are abundance. The frequency and the source have become one. You are the tuning fork, vibrating with its own perfect, effortless note. This state of being right here, this is the state of automatic response. This is the frequency reality, has no choice but to echo. Stay here another moment. Nothing to achieve. You've already arrived. Now, very gently, without losing this feeling, begin bringing awareness back. Back to the space around you. Back to physical sensations of your body. Take a slow, conscious breath. When you're ready, slowly open your eyes. Don't analyze the experience. Don't rush to label it or understand it. Just notice what remains. Notice the quality of your own presence as you come back to this moment. What one word describes the frequency of your being right now? That word is your new compass. You're no longer a striver or seeker. You're a conscious resonator. Let that new identity land. Feel the structure of it. It's not a poetic title, it's a statement of physics. You now operate under a different set of laws because you've become a different kind of energetic instrument. And every master instrument requires new operating principles, not rules, not limitations. Principles of harmony that allow you to express your truest frequency with the least amount of interference. Let's make this exquisitely practical. Move this from the deeply felt into the daily lived. Here are the operating principles for the conscious resonator. The first is the frequency audit. Your old life was governed by a to-do list, actions designed to manipulate the external world to produce a desired internal feeling. Get the promotion to feel successful, find the partner to feel loved, make the money to feel secure. Action leading to result leading to feeling. We're inverting this process entirely. From now on, you replace your to-do list with a to-be list. Each morning before you engage with the world, your first and only critical task is to conduct a frequency audit. Sit in silence for a moment and ask one question. What is the dominant frequency I'm broadcasting today? Is it the chaotic static of anxiety, the heavy, dense hum of obligation, the sharp, erratic signal of impatience? Be ruthlessly honest, but completely non-judgmental. You're simply taking a reading of your instrument. You're the engineer in the broadcast studio, checking the signal before it goes live. If you identify a frequency not in alignment with the reality you're now allowing to emerge, your job isn't to go out and fix the world causing it. That's the old paradigm. Your new job, your only job, is to retune the instrument. You don't need to fight the anxiety. You don't need to analyze the obligation. You simply introduce a new, more coherent frequency. Go back to the feeling you embodied moments ago. Peace, certainty, abundance. Call it forth not as a goal, but as a calibration. Hold that new note until it becomes the dominant signal. This audit is your primary creative act of the day, because once you set your frequency, the universe has its instructions. The echo has its source code. The rest of the day is just watching the printout. The second principle is neutral observation of dissonance. Even as a master resonator, echoes of old frequencies will still appear in your reality. A challenging email lands in your inbox. An unexpected bill arrives. A conversation feels discordant. This is inevitable. It's not failure. It's simply the universe clearing out the backlog of old incoherent signals you once broadcasted. Your old habit, your deeply ingrained human programming, is to see this dissonance and immediately try to fix it, to react, push back, apply effort and force to correct the perceived problem. This is like hearing a dissonant echo in a canyon and shouting at it to stop. The shouting only creates more echoes, more chaos. The new way is radical, the practice of neutral observation. When something unwanted appears, you see it for what it is. An echo. Old energy. A recording of a song you're no longer playing. Your job isn't to engage with it, fight it, or even positively reframe it. Your job is to observe it without judgment. Look upon it with calm, neutral detachment, as if you were a scientist observing a phenomenon behind glass. You say to yourself, interesting, an echo of the frequency of lack. I see it. And then you do nothing. You withdraw your energy. You starve it of the one thing it needs to persist. Your focused emotional attention, your neutral observation is the most powerful dissolving agent in the universe. It collapses the wave function of that problem into nothingness. Because you refuse to broadcast the frequency that sustains it, you let the echo fade by refusing to strike the tuning fork of problem. You allow its vibration to simply cease. This isn't passivity. This is the highest form of action. The third tool is the reality anchor. In the quiet of meditation, it's easy to hold the frequency of your desired state. But life is dynamic. The world will present patterns designed to pull you back into your old resonance. This is where you need an anchor, the word you identified earlier, the one that described the frequency of your being in that deep state of connection. That word is your anchor. It's not just a word, it's a key, a vibrational command code that instantly reconnects your conscious mind to your embodied state of knowing. Throughout your day, the moment you feel the pull of old habits, the urge to strive, to worry, to control, to push, you silently and internally repeat that word. If your word was peace and you find yourself in a moment of frustration, you don't fight the frustration. You simply drop the anchor. Peace. You don't shout it in your mind. You feel it. You let the single word land in your body and feel the resonance of it spread, overriding the chaotic signal of the momentary struggle. It's your immediate recalibration tool, the button you press to switch from manual effort-based reality to automatic response-based reality. It's your anchor in the harbor of being, preventing the tides of the external world from pulling you out into the stormy seas of doing. This is especially crucial during those hours when the mind catastrophizes most intensely. You know the ones. When darkness falls and your thoughts spiral. When every fear magnifies. When the observer becomes entangled with the observed and you can't tell the difference between reality and projection. Those 48 hours after a triggering event, when your nervous system is recalibrating and your mind is running worst-case scenarios on a loop. In those moments, your anchor isn't just helpful, it's essential. Because when you're caught in catastrophic thinking at 3 a.m., you're not just thinking negative thoughts, you're actively broadcasting a distress frequency into the quantum field. You're collapsing the wave function into the very reality you fear. The protocol for these moments is simple but requires practice. First, recognize you're in a catastrophic loop. Don't judge it, just notice it. I'm catastrophizing. Second, drop the anchor. Your word, your frequency, let it interrupt the pattern. Third, return to the embodied feeling state, not fighting the fear, not analyzing it, simply introducing a more coherent signal. This 48-hour window after a triggering event is when your old patterns will try hardest to reassert themselves. Your nervous system is designed to protect you by replaying worst-case scenarios. It thinks it's keeping you safe, but you're no longer operating from that paradigm. You're a conscious resonator now. You understand that your state of being is the broadcast, and catastrophic thinking is just static interfering with your signal. The more you practice neutral observation during these intense periods, the faster your nervous system learns the new pattern. Eventually, even at 3 a.m., even in the grip of fear, your anchor will hold. This is your new framework for living, a beautifully simple, infinitely powerful loop. Tune, observe, anchor. That's it. That's the entire operating manual. This isn't another technique you must perfect. This isn't another complicated process you must add to your day. This is a simplification, an unlearning, a return to the effortless mastery that is your birthright. The recognition that you're not a being who performs an action called creation. You are the creation itself. You now understand the observer's echo effect. You have the signs to recognize it, the embodied feeling of it, the practical tools to live from it. You're operating from an entirely new paradigm, the paradigm of automatic response. But mastering your own frequency, as profound as it is only the first step. It's the final graduation from the old world of effort. The mastery of the solo instrument. Learning to play your note perfectly, purely, consistently. Your tuning fork doesn't exist in a vacuum. It resonates within a vast interconnected orchestra. The next horizon of reality creation isn't just hearing your own echo, it's understanding how your note, your frequency, is instantly and non-locally connected to every other frequency in existence. When a fully tuned conscious resonator grasps this fundamental interconnection, something miraculous occurs. Your inner state doesn't just affect your personal reality, it instantly influences the entire quantum field. It sends a ripple across the entirety of consciousness. This isn't philosophy. This is the verified physics of quantum entanglement. The most profound and misunderstood principle in all of science. It proves that the separation you perceive between yourself and the world is an illusion. A functional but ultimately temporary operating system. And it's the next essential piece of this puzzle for you to master. The journey doesn't end here. It begins. You're not just a broadcaster receiving your own echo. That was the training ground. You're a note in a cosmic symphony. And your personal coherence, your sustained state of being, brings harmony to the whole. You're no longer just creating your life. You're contributing a healing frequency that elevates everything. This is your power. This is your new work. Welcome to the next level of creation.